Hey guys, it's Nikki. First of all, long time no talk. I literally have been so busy. I've been on vacation. I left May 24th and I was literally out of town until last night, June 8th. I was in Arizona visiting family, so I literally have not been in Nebraska for the past 2 weeks. I didn't bring anything to film with, didn't have the plan on filming because I just needed to get away and spend time with family, which I'm super excited about because it was a great trip. But I also was very active on my makeup Instagram, which is all things makeup, and I also do reviews and swatches on there too. So that's always down in the down bar, so you guys can always check that out and see that. When I was in Arizona, there was a brand that had actually reached out to me asking me if I wanted to try some of their products. They are a newer brand, so they were looking for people to just kind of try out their stuff, see what they think. So I agreed to it. I'm very skeptical when I get messages about that because a lot of times it is more of a scam. But I saw lots of people that honestly had these products on Instagram and shouted them out and they really liked them. So I was like, you know what, they seem legit enough. I'm gonna try them out. So I messaged her back, told her I was interested. And they actually offer me a coupon code for you guys, but I'm not going to promote that right now just because I've never tried out these products. I want to try them out, get a feel for them, see what I think, because I don't want to just offer you something if I don't like it, and I don't want to like false advertise for you guys. But it does look really pretty. If I do end up liking the product, then I will obviously promote that code at the end if you guys are interested. If not, then I'm not going to. So that's just how it goes. But yeah, so let's get into the product. I'm going to use it on my eyes first, and then we're going to swatch it at the end. So the brand here is Hawaiian Cosmetics. I did open up the lash box to see the lashes like outside of the unicorn, but other than that, I haven't even taken them out. I've never like touched them. So this is the eyeshadow palette. This is just the outside like packaging layer that you get when they send it to you inside the little shipping bag. But this is what it looks like. It just says Hawaiian Cosmetics eyeshadow palette. I love this little packaging. I think it's so much fun. It's got, you know, just like the red font with the little surfer girl, and it's kind of got what's on here, like kind of reminds me of a pina colada down here because you got pineapple and coconut and strawberries and all things yummy. This makes me want to go to the beach, so I really like this outside packaging. And then you open this part up and the palette is literally the same thing as the packaging or the outside packaging. One thing that's really cool on the back of the outside part and the palette, it has their CEO, which her name is Jazz. I follow her on Instagram. She looks super sweet. It has hers, I believe this is her Instagram. This is the Hawaiian Cosmetics Instagram. And then this is also their Gmail as well as their website. So that's on the back of the unicorn as well as the palette, which is nice because if you need a way to look them up or contact them, you have that. This is the eyeshadow palette. I'm going to go ahead and open it up for you guys. So I already took out the plastic insert because I opened it up just to look at it to make sure it wasn't like damaged, because obviously this has been sitting like in my mailbox for 2 weeks because I've been out of town, so I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't damaged. So this is what it looks like on the outside, and then you open her up, and this is the colors. It says Hello Hawaiian Dolls here. I think that that's really cute. It's an all white palette, and there is 9 shades in here. These shades are very colorful. They're not necessarily a neutral palette. If you know me, I like my neutrals, I like my warm tones. I have been experimenting with more color lately because I've been feeling really creative, but I like my neutrals, I like my warm tones. That's my comfy place. So these are a little bit out of my comfort zone, but they are very pretty shades. I like the way that the colors are set up in here. I think it really grabs the eye. So there's 9 shades. As you can see, there's not really any transition colors or anything. It's just a bright palette. There is I just like accidentally nicked it, but there's a brown here, which honestly you can do a lot with, and there is an orange here as well as a yellow. Those are bright shades, but I feel like you can honestly do a lot with transitions and everything like that. And then you do have some shimmer shades like these two and this one here. So I'm excited to try this out. I think it looks really pretty. I'm going to try it out on the eyes first and then swatch all the colors at the end so you guys can see the colors that I didn't use. So this is the lashes. These are the Hawaiian lashes in this shade Sugar. Oh, one thing I should probably talk about is prices. So these lashes run for $12.99. They just look like this. They're very wispy. I wish that these lashes kind of had something to like sit in so you can see them. It is a little bit difficult to see on camera because it's all clear. But this is what they look like. This is in the style Sugar. And so yeah, this just looks like my kind of lash. They feel really wispy. They don't feel too fake. Obviously I'll get more of a feel for them when they're in my fingers. This eyeshadow palette, by the way, does run for $29.99. So it is a $30 palette. First thing I am going to do, I'm going to show you guys this because I'm not going to do the rest of my face makeup on camera. It's strictly just going to be eyes today. But I am going to show you what I'm priming the face with. I'm using the Bare Minerals Primetime Primer. And I am just going to use this to prime the skin just so it has a nice base. So the one thing I'm going to take to prime my eyelids, this is the Maybelline Concealer in the shade Sand. I always prime my eyes with concealer no matter what makeup look it is, just because we are going to be using some bright shades and I don't want my eyelids to stain, and just so that way there's a nice base for these colors to stick to. Not saying that it does stain your eyes. I've obviously never tried it, but usually when you do have brighter colors like what's in this palette, it does have a tendency to stain. And just to set the primer, I'm going to be using just this Maybelline Fit Me powder because it's just a light color. Alright, so I applied my tape. Let's get into the palette. I'm going to open up this palette here. And I think for a transition shade, what do I want to do? I think I'm going to go in with this shade Lemon here. It's just that bright yellow, so I'm just going to dip my brush. There is a lot of fallout. I don't know if you guys can see, but there is quite a few fallout. It just looks really powdery. So I'll take my brush. I'm going to apply this in my transition area here. Okay, so that's one initial layer. Let's see if I can build it up. I'm not trying to do, okay, there we go. I'm not trying to do too much right off the bat because I don't know how pigmented this shade is, but personally, I do feel like you have to work it up. Do the other side. Okay, there we go. I put a little bit more on my brush on this side than I did the other side. I just did a few taps, and this I really coated the brush. So I think it's just one of those products that you really do have to build up. The powder kickback is actually insane on the palette right now. So that's the yellow transition color. I had to go over it quite a few times, but it's not anything that's like super concerning. So I am going to take this shade here. This is Tangerine. This is just an orange shade, and I'm going to put this directly in the crease. This one does have a lot of kickback as well. I don't know if you can see here, but it does have a lot of powder kickback. For anyone who's wondering, I'm just going to be very nitpicky about everything that happens because this is a new brand. Okay, there's color, there's pigment. We'll do just a little bit more. Oh, okay. She's buildable. We like that. Like a good buildable shadow. And again, I'm not going full ham. I'm only doing like 1 or 2 dips and then tapping off the excess just to see how they initially are, and then if you can build them up. And then I will apply a little bit more on my brush as we go. That does not look bad, actually. That's blending really nicely into that yellow. Take that same brush with the yellow, no additional product, and just kind of mesh those two together. Those actually blended together really nicely. I'm like looking in my mirror and I really don't see, there's really no fallout on my face. There is a lot of kickback in the palette. There's really no fallout on the face. They look like they blend together nicely. I'm not really seeing too much of a blending issue. They actually don't look patchy on the skin. Go in with this shade Brownie right here, which is literally just the matte brown. And I am going to apply this in my outer corner in my lower crease, and then I am going to use another shade in the crease as well to blend it out. I take this like I normally would in the outer corner. This brown is very pigmented. I am using kind of more of like a packer brush. It is pigmented. It's a nice brown. It's not as dark as you think it would be. It is kind of more of like a neutral toned. It kind of reminds me neutral toned warm brown, where it'll give you a little bit of dimension, but it's not gonna be, you know, like your dark chocolate brown. I am enjoying the way that this is blending out. This does have a little bit more fallout than the other shades. I can see a little bit of it on my face, but it's really nothing that's alarming or concerning. Especially for a matte shadow, which is really, really good. I don't mind it, actually. I wish it was just a little bit more darker, but I really do like it. Let me show you it in the pan, though. It is very powdery in the pan. You do have a lot of kickback. Again, personally to me, doesn't really matter that much, but to some people it does, so I just want to be very honest. I think that I am going to take this shade Watermelon right here, which is just a very watermelon color. It's in between a pink and red. But I'm gonna take this and I'm going to apply this directly in the crease, blending out that brown, and we're just gonna kind of go back and forth with blending everything out between that tangerine and watermelon color. This shade is very pretty as well. And blending it, I don't seem to be having an issue, which is nice because I don't want an issue, but it's blending pretty nicely. I will say the one thing is, though, I feel like it kind of took away the brown. The brown does look a little patchy now that we blended that watermelon shade on top, but let's just go in with more brown, build up, and see if we can blend it out and it looks okay. I'm literally taking tangerine and then watermelon, a nice even layer, and we are just going to blend that on top of the brown and see what happens. It seems to look okay with those shades blending on top of it. It doesn't look bad. I do feel like it did kind of blend away a little bit. Again, I don't know if it's just because it's a lighter color. I wish it was a little bit more. You can still see it, but I just feel like with blending it kind of disappears. We're just gonna do a little bit more and blend it out just a little bit more to see how it is. I'm gonna take a little bit of lemon, just a little dab, and I'm going to blend the top of these colors out since it is our transition shade. So I definitely will say that that brown shade does have more fallout than the other shades, especially on my face, but usually darker shades do. I'm not too concerned about it because it's not a horrific amount. I don't mind how it looks. I really don't. I just wish this brown was easier to blend. I think that this brown is a little bit more of a difficult color to blend. I like it. I'm not gonna say I hate it because I really don't. I like how the colors are blending and they look. I just wish this freaking brown looked a little bit better. Let's just go ahead and try out the shimmers because that's what I'm most excited for. I think I'm gonna go in between two. I think I'm gonna take Sky and Star. So I'm gonna take Sky, which is this green shimmer, and I'm going to apply this all over my lid. I'm going to apply it without spraying the brush first, and then I'm gonna apply it with spraying the brush because I usually spray my brush for everything, but I want to see how it looks without. So it's very just sheer. Let's spray brush and see what happens and if we like it better. Oh, what a difference spraying the brush does. Hello, that's what we're looking for. Yes, honey, that is what I was wanting. That is a shimmer. That is a shimmer. Really freaking pretty, actually. Take some Brownie on the outer edges here just to kind of like blend it, because we did kind of go over that a little bit. Now I'm going to take the shade Star right here, and I'm just going to go in the middle. I think I'm just going to use my finger, and I'm going to go in the middle between that green and brown. You get what I'm saying. I will say it feels like these shadows were very firmly pressed. Laying it on my finger, it doesn't feel bad. It does feel a little dry. It's not like, you know, the creamiest shadow, but I don't think that it's bad. I think this is all that we're gonna do for the upper part. On the bottom part, I think I'm gonna dabble more into this wine and strawberry color, and I've literally used almost all the shades in here after that, but I'm gonna dabble into the wine and strawberry color on the lower lash line and just kind of create something different. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the tape off. I'm not mad at it. I think that it could be just a little bit creamier, but I don't think that it looks bad at all. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of the face, and I am going to do everything else, come back to do the lower lash line and lashes, and talk to you guys about my final thoughts on the product, and also to swatches of the whole palette. Alright, you guys, I'm back. I applied the rest of my face makeup, or at least like my base and everything. So now I'm going to work on the lower lash line as well as apply the lashes. So I had already measured and cut the lashes, and I have glue on them, so they're ready to go. Now I'm going to go back in with the Hawaiian Cosmetics palette, and I'm going to take the shade Lemon again. And with this, I'm just going to apply this as a transition shade on the lower lash line and basically do almost the same on the bottom that we did on the top. Okay, so now that we have that down, we're going to go in with this shade right here, and this is in the shade Wave. I thought that said wine for a second. This is in the shade Wave, and I'm just going to apply this directly at the root of my lashes here. That's pigmented. That's pretty pigmented, and we're just gonna kind of use that to smudge out the liner here that we have going on. That's pretty good. Obviously it looks super harsh because I have to blend it out. I'm going to take the shade Strawberry right here, and I am going to blend out that color into, wow, that's bright. Blend out that blue color into the, now that I blended that out, you can't really see too much of that blue, so I am going to go in with a just short shader brush like this, with more of that wave color, and just kind of drag it down just a little bit more, and then blend it out again with more strawberry, because it could have been the brush that I used. I'm going to try this, see how well that shows up. And then again, take just a little bit of strawberry and blend out that blue. So that's what the lower lash line looks like. I actually really like it. I think it's pretty. I wish the blue was just a little bit more vibrant, but it could have been with the pink. It kind of made it look a little bit more purple. I'm just going to apply some mascara, and I'm going to apply the lashes. That's the one thing I am probably the most excited about. Obviously, you know, the eyeshadow is important and everything. But the lashes are something that I'm really looking forward to, because I'm really big on having comfortable lashes. We'll see how these apply. And I'm gonna finish the rest of my face and just kind of give you my final thoughts on everything, because then the lashes will be dry, so I'll be able to really give you like a good what I think of them, you know? Alright, I am back. I have the rest of my makeup done. I have changed. I have one of the Jaclyn Hill lipsticks on in Amazeballs, and I love this color. It's so beautiful and I think it's pretty. But we're not talking about that today. We're gonna break down everything with the Hawaiian Cosmetics eyeshadow palette and the lashes. I'm also going to swatch all the shades for you so you can see what they all look like on my arm. One thing I do want to point out, I never go by finger swatches on eyeshadows. I strictly only go by what's on the eyes and how they perform with brushes, because that's what eyeshadows are typically made for, is to be applied with brushes instead of fingers. So that is what I do. Unless it's a pigment or a pressed glitter, then obviously finger swatches for those matters to me, because of the fact that I do apply those with my fingers. Everything else I do with brushes. Let's talk about the lashes. So these lashes were in the style Sugar. Again, they are very comfortable on. I can definitely say that. They don't feel, you know how some lash bands are just heavy and your eyes just feel like droopy like this? These don't feel like that. They feel really good. They don't feel heavy. They feel very comfy. I did have to cut quite a bit to make them fit my eye shape. Now, with that being said, my eyes are small. Everyone's eye shape is different. There's some lashes where I don't have to cut anything and some lashes that I do. So it's nothing to do with the lashes. Everyone's eye shape's different, so you might have to cut them, you might not have to. I didn't have to really cut a lot, but I do like them. I think that they blend in with my real lashes. I have a mirror right here, so sorry. But I think that they blend in with my real lashes really, really nicely, and overall, I do think that the lashes are really good. I'm excited to try out more from them to see what I think. Let's get into the eyeshadow palette. So, I'm going to go ahead and actually swatch all of these shades for you guys. I know that I applied them to my eyes, basically all of them, but I'm going to go ahead and swatch them all for you guys so you can see how they are on the arm. So I'm going to go ahead with the first row here. I have Tangerine, which just looks like this. So this is Tangerine. This is Star. This is the one that I applied on the center. I'm going to do another layer. That one isn't swatching as nice. There we go. As it was on the eye. So that's Star. This next one is Watermelon. That definitely felt really, really dry on the, even feeling it, that felt really dry. This is Watermelon. This is the one that we have in our crease. I already started swatching it on my finger, but I am going to go ahead and do the second row. So I have Strawberry right here. This shade, okay. This shade is swatching to be very, very chalky. Very, very chalky. It got like all over my leggings. Okay. Not a fan of that. Next shade is the shade Brownie. Right here. My swatches are like going to the side, so I'm sorry. This is the shade Brownie. Next one, this is the shade Sky. This is that green that we were applying. This one is being really patchy as well. I'm not a fan of how they're swatching. They are not swatching the best, but they look better on the eyes than what they're swatching. So I want to point that out. So now we're going to go ahead and go with the last row. So we're going to do the shade, ooh, that's pretty. This is the shade Pinky. We didn't use this shade and my camera just like died on me, but these are the last three shades. This one I didn't use. This is Pinky, this is Wave, and then this is Lemon. I will say that Lemon swatches horribly on the hand. And what's crazy is Lemon and Wave to me were, these two were the most creamiest out of all of the shades. So for them to be swatching really badly just kind of blows my mind. Oh, now I got it like all up on here. But these are all the shades swatched, as you can see. I will say I do really like this eyeshadow palette on the eyes. Finger swatches I don't like, but the one thing I will say is I'm wearing pants, just like leggings, while I got ready. And the one thing I can really say about these shades is when they swatch, they are more chalky. Personally, I don't like that. I don't like shades that are chalky. I don't like when they flake off. But on the eyes, they didn't do that. So it's a little weird that when you finger swatch them, they look absolutely horrendous. and then on the eyes, they look great. I've seen a lot of that happen where people judge a finger swatch more than actual eye application. So I wanted to show you guys how these shades are swatching versus eyes, and so that way you can see that sometimes swatches can be deceiving. I do like the colors in these. I'm curious to see if they're going to come out with more eyeshadow palettes and what else they're going to create. I will say that a lot of these shadows did feel really dry when I swatched them, like finger swatched. They did feel dry, they did feel a little chalky when you swatch them, but on the eyes they don't feel that way. Like, to me, they felt like they blended nicely, they were creamy, so I don't know what happened between touch and eyeballs, but I definitely like how they look better with the brush compared to finger swatches. I do think that if you want to try it out, you definitely should. I think it's a good palette for beginners. It's not awful to blend. Some shades like the brown shade can be a little bit difficult to blend, but most darker shades are, so if you are a beginner, that one might be a little bit harder for you, but all the other shades blend pretty well together. And I didn't have any issues. The shimmer isn't like falling down. I've had that issue with some shimmers where over time they will just like disappear and fall down on my cheeks right here, and I don't see that. It's staying really nicely, and yeah. So overall, I do recommend this product. Now, Hawaiian Cosmetics did give me a discount code, so if you guys want to try these products, you can use the code Nikki15 for 15% off of your order. They are a pretty affordable brand as it is, so I think that's great that you can save even more money. The lashes range from at least $9 to $12, and this eyeshadow palette again is $29.99. So if you guys do like this palette and you like the lashes, definitely check them out. Use my code, and that way you guys can save a little bit of money. Not sponsored. This is not a sponsored video. This is not an affiliate link. I am not getting any money or commission through this link. I would be 100% honest about that, but I definitely do think that this is a good product, and for them just starting off, I think that they did really good, and I can't wait to see what else they do. So if you guys are interested in anything, or even if you check out their website and find something you like, definitely do that. I will leave it linked down below as well as my code, so that way if you guys are interested, you guys can use it. I thank you in advance. Please let me know if you did use it to save some money. Let me know what you think of the product. One thing I do want to point out is this product worked for me. I liked it. I think it's good. I can't wait to see what else they do. Just because it worked for me doesn't necessarily mean you feel the same. I've seen that with a lot of products. For example, a lot of people like the Huda Beauty palette. I don't like it. I don't like the way it blends, and that's that. Everyone's different, so don't think that just because I recommend a product and it doesn't work for you, I'm being a liar. Because I'm not. That's that. Want to put that out there because I know a lot of people get very defensive over it when you recommend a product and it doesn't work for them. But without further ado, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please give it a big thumbs up if you liked it. Don't forget to subscribe down below for new videos every week, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!